The hosts of bracketology are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
Hypothetical scenario for you. You run into a genie that grants you the ability. It only has a very specific magic power. It can grant you the ability to curse anyone you choose with an inconvenience of your choice. Just a slight inconvenience that they would face on a near daily basis.
So nothing like I can't cause this person to have a cardiac arrest or...
No, nothing that malicious. Just an annoying inconvenience that they have to deal with on a regular basis.
Okay.
Who are you cursing? I think we probably all going to be somewhere in that. And what's the inconvenience?
So why don't we just skip the who and just get to the inconvenience?
Okay, sure. Yeah. How are we inconveniencing someone who will remain unnamed?
My immediate thought was their left shoe is just constantly untied.
Ooh, I like that. Just one
However,
shoe. That does cause tripping hazards.
Yeah, but I feel like they would just hire somebody to just constantly tie their shoe. And someone would gladly do it and kiss their feet while they're at it.
Ooh, I never thought of that before. If his shoe comes untied while he's like standing at something, does he get... It's hard to imagine him bending over that far to tie his shoe.
Somebody ties his shoes for him. If they're not Velcro or just slip-ons, like realistically. He'd have an aneurysm trying to bend over and pull all that weight back up.
Now I want to analyze his footwear to see if... I bet you're right. I bet they're mostly slip-ons. Anyway.
So, with that being the case, what is something that would...
I've got one.
Okay, go.
Go for it.
So my inconvenience is that this person would never be able to control their bowel movements. So that means
I suspect that might already be reality.
Every single time something's in the chamber, it comes out.
Internet outage every time they go to post on social media.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, well, not just social media. Any...
Just any computer they're near?
Not computer. I'm like press conference, tweet,
I'm going to...
The other one.
Yeah, whatever I think they still call them tweets. Anyway, I'm going to say that he has a like an account malfunction, and every time he wants to send a tweet, he has to re-log in. Every single time.
I think at this point it's all Truth Social, though.
What are they?
He hires somebody to take a screenshot and post it onto Twitter.
I don't know.
Are they called truths?
I have no idea.
Babbles.
Bullshit.
Malarkey.
Realistically, I think the important part of this inconvenience is to make his reach smaller. Or, to Dan's point, yes, tiny hands. Or to Dan's point, make it so people really don't want to be around him.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Like, all the cameras in the world on him, and he just shits his pants.
He's just fucking or pretending to fuck one of the other people that work for him, and they're like, no.
Or he's on, one of his 10 millionth game of golf, wearing that all white outfit and just shits his pants, and it's just brown all the way down.
I like this idea because I can't wait to see the international coverage.
Did you?
I want to see what the French newspaper has to say about
it. They're gonna have so
constant.
Much.
It is every time.
It's just a constant dribble just down his leg.
Yeah,
like that weird Rudy Giuliani picture where it looks like he's sweating wine, but it's
constantly.
It's
down his
leg.
Yeah.
Do you speak? Sorry, continue.
No, I just want that. And like if he's sitting down greeting another world leader, like he shits with such ferocity that it comes up. You know how like babies do when they shit?
They have to put that grandma style plastic wrapping over all the couches in the White House.
And in the Chinese like president office. Now, somewhat changing the subject because we're definitely not. What are you doing?
Please stop moving your arm like that. It looks incredibly awful.
Did y'all see the? And I don't want to like dox anybody, but I saw a video of him golfing this weekend, which they don't allow. Like generally speaking, you're not allowed to watch him golf. But this person like snuck in a phone and then posted it online.
And he shanked it.
And it shanked so bad. Yeah. It was worse than any shot I've seen Scott take.
And the reason that he does that is because he lies about how good he is at golf.
The man has won so many tournaments, quote unquote. Like it's
at his own clubs.
Yeah, and coincidentally, it's at the club that he owns.
Won the Mar-a-Lago championship. Woo, surprise.
Yeah, almost zero surprise, like concealment as to who we're talking about. This is all clearly
miraculous victory
satire.
While he shit his pants.
Yeah.
Might help his shot. I don't know.
Like he's on the 18th hole. He's shit himself 4 times up to this point. He goes to make the final putt and just shits again.
I don't think that this is that much of a risk, but I'm just going to say it. Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
I might have to cut that part out.
Hello and welcome back to Bracketology, the podcast that definitively decides all things tournament bracket style. I am the bracket master, Scott Grubb.
I'm very dazed, Matt Robinson.
And I am always confused, Dan Default.
This week we begin our 3-week series of mini mystery brackets. Each week, one of your co-hosts takes the reins, develops the bracket in secret from the other two, and then waits till this very moment to present it. I, as I mentioned, got the honor of being bracket master first this go around, so I have developed a bracket especially for you two.
Oh, gross.
I'm very excited for you to see it. Again, as I mentioned at the end of last week's episode, my daughter did walk in while I was in the process of creating this bracket, and she has some questions. She knows that we get together and talk about topics. I don't think she understands quite the idea of what a podcast is, but she knows that we, the three of us, get together and we talk about different topics. I don't know if she just thinks we do it for fun. I don't know. But she saw the bracket that I was putting together and she took a look at it and she was like, "Are you guys going to talk about that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Are you going to be just talking about like what your favorite animal is?" And I said, Yeah, baby, that's definitely what we're talking about. We're talking about favorite animal. Because I couldn't tell her that we're talking about the tastiest forbidden animal.
Oh, I hate this. I hate this already. Not a fan.
I have picked...
He picked the cutest fucking pictures, too. Look at the hippo, dude. Look at the baby hippo.
I have picked 8 animals. The kangaroo, fennec fox, the sea otter, the horse, the panda, the pygmy hippo, the dolphin, and the penguin. And you all get to go through the bracket to determine which of these 8 animals that are not traditionally part of Western cuisine is the tastiest.
Traditionally? They're never a part of Western cuisine. Traditional my ass.
Well, I mean, there definitely are parts of horses that are used in things like Jell-O, but...
It's slightly different.
Yeah.
Slightly different.
I thought it was pig bone marrow for that.
No, it's horse hooves. And I mean, there might be a little bit of pig bone marrow, but horse hooves and teeth and stuff like that.
Interesting. Well, there we go. So, gentlemen, it's your bracket to work with. I'll let you decide where you want to go, where you want to start.
I don't want to.
So let's just start at the top because I have thoughts.
Okay. Matt's ready to talk about it, apparently.
So kangaroo versus penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I know person from Australia.
Has said person ate kangaroo before?
Yes, it is so kangaroos are now. If I'm not quoting 100% accurately, I apologize. But I believe that the way that it was described to me is that kangaroo are like pests in Australia. They're essentially everywhere, and they're a fucking menace. So
they're
yes,
big and violent.
People eat kangaroos in Australia because they're fucking all over the place. They're like prairie dogs in Colorado. There are just so many of them. I think I've heard it described as it's okay, like stringy. Obviously, like a kangaroo has a lot of muscle, right?
Yeah,
like there's a lot to them.
Figure it'd be gamey.
And generally, very muscly animals are very gamey. They're very like it's not. There's just not a lot of fat to hold a lot of the things together, and the flavor comes a lot of times from the fat. Whereas penguins are a very fat chicken. And as much as I love penguins, and I absolutely love penguins, I 100% believe a penguin is the tastier of these two. Because you deep fry that shit, you get the best fried chicken south of Antarctica.
It would be north, wouldn't it?
Fuck if I know. I'm not a goddamn geologist.
Geology. Okay. Matt, I've got to agree with you. Like, there are animals that are just very gamey, and you have to know how to prepare them to lessen that, chewy nature of the meat. I don't think you're going to run into that problem with penguins. So as cute as they are, they're probably also tasting.
Yeah, and I think realistically, penguins are going to be a lot easier to catch than kangaroos.
Yeah.
So just in terms of like viability of eating these things.
But kangaroos do like to go into like 4 feet of water and get things to come in the water with them so they can drown them. So
kangaroos
part of
are
me
fucking mean, dude.
Yeah, and a lot of their, victims are dogs, and you know me, I love dogs. So I would probably eat a kangaroo for
just
revenge.
To spite it.
Yeah.
I had no idea until this episode that Australians do in fact eat kangaroos. It's not as common as other meats like beef or lamb, but it is available in many Australian supermarkets and restaurants. It's considered sustainable because it's sourced from wild populations, and apparently it's actually growing in popularity as more, I guess, probably as people better learn how to cook it. It sounds like. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. Did you ever see the video of the kangaroo who does take a dog and the owner like runs up to the kangaroo and just punches it square in the face?
Oh, I would 100% do that to protect
the
dog.
The kangaroo's like look of surprise when it just gets like cold cocked. It's just like, what the fuck? And then he's like, come on.
Dan said that with a level of excitement, like he kind of is looking forward to having an opportunity to punch a kangaroo.
I mean, look, I just know that they are mean to dogs, and dogs to me are the best things, higher powers ever made to put on this earth.
All right. Up next, horse versus panda bear.
I don't like it.
I think this falls into a very similar category, to be honest. Yeah. Right? Horse is, let's put it this way. Horse is close enough to beef. My understanding is that like there are restaurants in civilized Western countries like the UK that have just replaced beef with horse meat in some cases, whether they were supposed to or not. Like I remember there was a story, because I watch a lot of like weird British TV from like between 2005 and today. And there was a story that was like a big thing for a while where I don't know if it was a Burger King or something. Like somebody ate a burger and was like, oh, this tastes kind of funny. And then they eventually tested the meat and it tested positive as like 60% horse meat. But it had been that way for a while. And I only remember the story because somebody asked like the fucking governor of London or some shit, like, so why didn't you test for horse meat? And he's like, well, we also don't test for cat. I mean, it's just meat. Like when we don't really think about that. So I'm misquoting the shit out of that. Either way, horse meat is also eaten and has been eaten.
Yeah, there are countless stories of armies on the march where rations are running low or weather gets bad. Unfortunately, horses are usually the last to go because,
they're so useful.
They're called workhorses for a reason. Yeah. They carry so much weight, but
I mean, and even when a horse got injured, like in armies and things like that, they, instead of just leaving it out to fucking rot, like why wouldn't you? Now, pandas, on the other hand, pandas are fat, very vegetation heavy diet, mainly bamboo. I honestly have no idea what. Now, here's the thing. I have a friend who is a hunter, and he got a hunting license in Colorado last year for, I think it was black bears. And so I talked to him about like bear meat and what that tastes like. And he said that bear meat is like really rich pork.
Is it bad I'm getting hungry while we're talking about this episode?
So I don't know how much a panda is also going to have those qualities. But I mean, he looks very cute. I have a feeling the panda would be kind of tasty.
I also just want to throw this out here. Horses are incredibly intelligent. Pandas
stupid
are
as shit.
Not. They are dumb as fucking rocks. So
tell me, how does that impact their tastiness?
Well, so
Dan feels a lot less bad about killing someone dumb as shit.
No, here's what I'll say is that pigs are also generally dumb as shit. They root around in their own shit. They don't know enough not to eat where they shit, right?
Pigs are widely recognized as highly intelligent animals.
They're very intelligent.
Yeah.
They eat where they shit. So I question that.
Okay.
I feel like pigs are tasty.
Pigs are tasty? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like pigs are tasty. I feel like a lot of the things that make pigs tasty would probably also work on a panda bear. So as much as I would never want to kill and eat a panda bear, I have to imagine that the fat inherent in their bodies is going to make the meat taste better.
All right.
Wait, hold on. I didn't actually vote yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you did.
No, I Googled.
Oh, okay.
I'm cheating a little bit here.
You cheater.
Horse meat has a lean, slightly sweet taste, often described as a blend between beef and venison. Whereas pandas, it is unlikely that panda meat would taste like the meat of other bears, as pandas primarily eat bamboo. They also have a digestive system of a carnivore.
Weird.
I think I'm going to go horse. I think horse might be tastier.
That means I have to do something here.
That's correct.
I do think that Matt is a dirty, rotten cheater for using Google. And I think we have to go with our gut on this. And had I not been given that additional information, I'm going to act as both judge and jury here. I'm going to tell myself to strike the evidence that was presented.
I'm going to tell myself.
Yeah, I'm going to object against it. I'm going to tell myself to strike it from the record. I think that panda looks tastier. I think it's panda.
I would feel a lot less bad about eating a panda than a horse.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd feel awful. Well, aren't pandas like endangered?
Yeah, because they're idiots.
Yeah, they are so fucking stupid. They would have
interesting.
They would have dumbed themselves right out of fucking existence had it not been for human intervention.
That's interesting that you guys feel less bad about eating the dumber of the two animals. I feel like that would get a pity vote.
Horses are like the dogs of work animals.
Yeah.
Right.
They really are. Horses and dogs were cornerstones in building civilization.
I also want to point out that in this random cheating Google research, pandas eat 99% bamboo. Because of that, essentially they're addicted to bamboo. They have lost the taste for savory things. And even though they have a carnivorous diet, because they have started eating only like mainly bamboo, they just aren't. I think that dumbed them down. I think that they're just idiots. They're the trailer park. They're the trailer trash of the animal kingdom.
Jeez.
I will say this though, you can go on to the YouTubes and you can find pandas like peeling and eating bamboo, and it is super cute to watch.
It's even cuter to watch when they fall out of their swing.
And then you pick them up and throw them on the grill. All right, up next we have in what looks like to be an image, a matchup of two animals that are both screaming for their lives: a sea otter versus pygmy hippo.
This is specifically a sea otter.
No, I guess that image actually looks more like a river otter.
I was about to say that kind of looks like a river otter.
We'll just say otter.
All of otters.
Otters.
Dude,
an otter versus a pygmy hippo.
Otters are too cute. I fucking love
but they're
otters.
also super rapey. Like otters Otters will take liberties with both alive and unalive victims. Like otters do not care. They're actually kind of a menace. Too. Yeah, they are a menace.
But they're cute as fuck.
Way. They are cute as fuck.
Dude, when they float on their back and then they're breaking open the shells.
Sea otters, when they hold hands to go to sleep.
Have you ever seen, did you ever hear about the giant otter the giant river otter that ripped somebody's face off, basically?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Dude, and then probably tried to have coitus with it.
Yeah, she had some scarring after the fact. Anyway, look that up later. Specifically pygmy hippos, not regular hippos.
That is correct. The pygmy part is important. I think it changes the meat.
Oh, it absolutely changes the meat, you sick fuck.
Would this be like the veal of the hippo world?
No, pygmy hippos, anything pygmy is just a smaller version. So it could still be a full-grown hippo, but just smaller than a regular hippo.
I think this goes back to the... Yeah. And, I mean, we've been crapping on otters, but hippos are some of the most dangerous animals in Africa. I
believe they're the number one killer in Africa, aren't they?
Yeah. They are incredibly dangerous. They're fucking water tanks, dude.
For reference, the pygmy hippo pictured is slightly larger than a watermelon.
That's fucking adorable, first of all.
Yeah.
Just pick that little guy up.
And take a bite right out of him.
Oh, no. It's mosquitoes, by the way. I Googled.
Yeah, well, yeah. Malaria. That'll get you. I got like I feel like the meat of otter is also going to be gamey, right? It's got to be a lot like rabbit.
I assume that it would be a lot like rabbit, which makes me think that it would be really good in like a stew. Like really good.
But I kind of feel like a pygmy hippo would be like water bacon. You know what I'm saying? You get a little bit of that fat belly.
You said that with a confidence like water bacon was a thing.
Well, it is now in my head canon.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. I was thinking pork-like as well. You just used different words.
Can I do a little bit of research here?
No.
I just want to know what hippos evolved from. Like, if they evolved from the same thing as a pig, then you are absolutely
their
right.
closest living relatives are like porpoises, like dolphins. They are actually related to dolphins. I didn't even have to Google that. I just know.
You could be fucking talking out of your ass.
But
although if any one of the three of us would know that, it would be you.
Yeah.
So which one's tastier?
I don't.
Go ahead, Matt. Say what?
Hippos evolved from a group of semi-aquatic plant-eating mammals called Anthracotheres. These Anthracotheres likely migrated from Asia to Africa around 35 million years ago, with the ancestor of hippos being found in Kenya.
Okay.
They are known to have been small and sheep-sized at one point. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go hippo. I do think like skewering. This sounds so bad.
You're gonna spit roast a hippo like a pig?
No, an otter. First of all.
Oh.
Like over a campfire, like you would with a rabbit. And make for a hell of a skewer. But a hippo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with water
Dan
bacon.
is gonna be so sad the rest of the night.
I am.
I'm ruining Dan's whole evening.
This is gonna weigh on me.
He's gonna have nightmares. All right, our last matchup. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The last matchup. I'm gonna be completely honest about something.
Okay, last matchup of round one: Fennec fox versus dolphin.
I don't think I can eat a fennec fox.
No, there's no way I could eat a fennec fox. I have eaten dolphin before.
What?
Yeah. I've eaten a fillet of dolphin, and I think
that's illegal.
It's a lot less like fish. It's more like a steak.
Like shark is similar too.
In texture.
Where did you eat dolphin?
What? We don't need to go into.
Oh, we can't say. Okay, all right.
But I have eaten dolphin. My vote is for dolphin because nothing as cute as a fennec fox deserves to be hunted. And dolphins, like otters, very sexually aggressive.
They're very sexually aggressive, very rapey. Yeah. Now,
again, I'm not sure how I understand how that impacts their tastiness.
It makes me feel better about the hunting of them.
Okay, I see.
What if the fennec fox died of natural causes and asked you to eat him?
You heard it here first, people. Dan supports the hunting of dolphins.
Well, dude, dolphins, all right, so dolphins can get high on pufferfish. I don't know if you know this, but pufferfish release an enzyme. So dolphins will find pufferfish and basically beat the shit out of it with their noses to get that high. They will, they're just really mean. They're bullies of the sea. So I'm not okay with, but I'm not against either.
Okay.
Dolphins are also, some have said, like the second most intelligent being on the planet next to humans, right? They're incredibly intelligent, which makes their sexual proclivities and their violence somehow that much more like humans.
Yeah.
And so it does feel a lot more justifiable to eat one.
Mm-hmm.
I do think a fennec fox God, the fucking ears, bro. I want a fox so bad as like a pet or a best friend. If
They're
I could
so
have a
cute.
familiar in real life,
pet or best friend.
if I could have a familiar in real life, it would be a fox of some kind. That is absolutely the case.
What would he say?
Finnick.
Oh, I was expecting more like a ting 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 ting.
Nope.
For sure.
Kind of forgot that existed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with dolphin as well. I do think, and here's the thing: I don't eat seafood generally speaking, but I have eaten similar enough things that are like mammally, oceany. Like I've never eaten whale or dolphin, but I do think that a dolphin would taste a lot more like alligator or like, like you said, like a steak of some kind.
It's got the texture of a steak, but it still does have a seafood taste.
Sure. All right. Scott, how is this shaping up compared to what your initial thoughts were?
To be honest with you, I didn't really like play out the bracket in my head. I was really focusing. I was really focusing more on how much I was going to enjoy the discomfort that you two would experience throughout this conversation, and I have to tell you, it is living up to expectations. So I appreciate that.
I feel like I'm okay.
Let's do this.
Yeah, Matt has really accepted his. It's funny because I seem to remember in the pro wrestling episode him really getting passionate about how he was unable to take himself out of the brackets that we discussed, but he seems really comfortable in this space.
I do seem to remember him saying that about this bracket, Best TV Moms bracket.
Yeah, but he's comfortable in this space, which is telling, I feel like. Up next, we move into round 2. We have the black and white battle, penguin versus panda.
I'm gonna go back to it, man. I think that a fried penguin leg, like realistically, would be some of the best fried chicken you could ever eat. Like I don't know, obviously, nor do I really want to find out, but I do think penguins have it a little bit, partly because I'm gonna go back to my illegal research. The more I'm thinking about it, and like the fact that pandas primarily eat bamboo and we don't eat bamboo, makes me think that they wouldn't be as good. They'd probably make like better meatballs, but
so, gonna throw this out there. Cows eat grass and oats and stuff like that. We don't typically eat grass. In fact, if you did eat a lot of grass, you would get very sick. So I don't know how much that argument tracks. But I do agree that I think penguins would probably be closer to chicken than pandas are to beef. This is the weirdest conversation I've fucking had.
Dude, hold on. I just thought of something, okay? So, not pandas. Penguins can't fly, right?
Correct.
Their wings still get a little bit of like a workout when they're just like waddling around. Yeah. But generally speaking, those aren't overly developed muscles, similar to chickens. Not saying chickens can't fly. Chickens can fly. They just don't very often. Imagine a penguin wing, deep fried, covered in buffalo sauce.
On a stick at a county fair.
Dude. I'm just saying.
It's a weird-ass county fair.
I'm just saying. You can get fried Alaska sticks of butter at a county fair.
Yeah, but that makes more sense for gluttonous America. But we don't also have, like, a large penguin, population that we can just pluck out and deep fry.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in parts of Alaska they have penguins, but not the continental U.S.
Do you want some of my illegal evidence?
No.
Okay. I'm going to go penguins. Dan's going penguins.
I'm also going penguins. By the way, there was nature documentary that was voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, where he was saying penguin, but he kept pronouncing it incorrectly, and multiple times different incorrect pronunciations of penguins. And
Why do we go away from David Attenborough?
Somebody clipped that together. You should just go watch that because it is really funny.
Shout out to a random person's YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Up next, pygmy hippo versus dolphin. This discomforted sigh that Dan let out there.
Well, I mean, so the pygmy hippo is super cute. And I've actually had dolphin before, but I can't get over the fact that there is a high likelihood in my head space that the pygmy hippo tastes like pork. So now I'm just thinking about water bacon, and
again,
I can't stop thinking about that.
It's so hard not to present you with illegal evidence. Can I present illegal evidence, please?
You're already tainting the experience by taking the evidence yourself.
So
you might as well.
Okay. So, what do hippos taste like? Hippo meat is described as tasting like a combination of pork and beef. Some even compare it to lake cow bacon. This is from Gemini. I don't know if he's listening to you, Dan, or what. In the past, there were even proposals to introduce hippo ranching in the United States.
There's been a lot of frequent conversation on the internet about water bacon, and Gemini picked it up and immediately turned it into search results.
Dude, dolphins, it describes as similar to beef liver. Which can be a delicacy.
Yeah, but beef liver typically has like a metallic taste to it.
Yeah, they're both high in mercury.
But you don't get that with, or at least I didn't get that with the dolphin I had.
I mean, I think that's part of it, right? Is like the, I don't know, a mild, unique flavor with a savory and sweet finish. It's been compared to beef liver when cooked. While some find it beefy and wild, others note it's not oily but has a taste from eating fish. So yeah. I mean, I think I have my opinion on which one would taste better right out the gate, based with these facts that are not being presented. Like, they both honestly don't sound bad. I want to be honest with you. But I think hippos sound a little bit tastier.
Yeah, I can't get the thought of water bacon out of my mind now.
I like water. I like water bacon a lot more than lake cow bacon.
Oh man, I just love the defeat in Dan's voice when he says, "I can't get water bacon out of my mind." All right, gentlemen, that takes us to the tasty two. We have deep fried penguin wing walking around the county fair, or we have pygmy water bacon hippo.
God damn it.
I don't see how the penguin doesn't win this as tastiest animal.
Can I just say, this is the fucking cutest bracket we've ever had. I'm just looking at all the pictures of the animals cascading down, and it's adorable.
Yeah, I was going to take a picture of it so I could show people.
That's actually not a bad idea.
So Matt's voting right away, saying penguin.
I think
penguin.
I think the penguin has. I think it's the immediacy, like the familiarity to chicken, right, and to like fowl in general. The idea of a buffalo penguin wing, like legitimately. It makes it interests me. I do think, similar to like duck, right? It probably has a little bit of that flavor and being a little bit on the bigger side. I've had duck before. I don't know, man. I do. I think that the penguin has my vote. Yeah. Yeah. Dan, which of these adorable...
So
look at how fat and round that penguin is.
But you don't have to prepare it. You just have to eat it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Penguins also lay eggs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is a whole other avenue of edible horribleness.
We know how much you love eggs.
I do love eggs. And, I gotta say that as much as I would love to try water bacon, I think the familiarity there, because Matt's right. I mean, there are a bevy of birds that are delicious that we eat on a regular basis. Quail, turkey, chicken. I think penguin would be right up there, and it lays eggs that we could scramble.
How uncomfortable are you right now?
I'm very. I don't like this.
I feel like you're going to go burn sage around your house after this episode.
I'm
unclean.
I'm going to hug my dog very closely and apologize.
I would never eat you or your friends unless they tried to steal you. And then I would punch the shit out of them.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
There you
have it. Kangaroo came at you, I'm breaking its fucking jaw. But other than that, I don't like hurting animals.
For the moment, we have definitively decided the tastiest forbidden animal, scientifically, the penguin. Gentlemen, I appreciate it. This was a question that was keeping me up at night, and I don't think I could have gotten to this conclusion without your help. You should be proud of the work you've done here today. Thank you.
I should be disgusted by what keeps you up at night.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, buddy. It's going to be a turn next week.
For when you take over the Bracket Master, it's going to be a turn, a whole different atmosphere coming. I mean, I think people expect that. I think by now we've to some degree displayed personalities where people can really see the writing on the wall in our differences. I mean, you got to think, last time I went sexiest mustache and you went creepiest cryptid. So something different. I think we're looking forward to it. Can you give us do you want to give us any kind of insight? What do we have to look forward to next week, Matt?
I think the biggest piece of information, it's going to be a different format of bracket.
Ooh. Color me horny. Intrigued. Looking forward to it. All right. That's right. My reign is complete. Thank you all for participating as I have been Bracket Master. Next week, Matt takes over.
I'm excited for the scratch and sniff bracket that Matt's going to put together.
Make sure you check your mail. Can you make scratch and sniffs? Hold on.
Okay, while you look that up, I want to thank Aaron O'Donnell.
Scratch and sniff.
I want to thank Aaron O'Donnell from Aaron O'Donnell Music for the track you heard at the beginning and end of every episode of Bracketology. We know you've listened to every episode, and we want to thank you for that as well. Thank you for joining us on social media, on the Facebooks, on the Blue Sky, not on Twitter. Fuck that place. On Instagram, on Twitch. Matt and I hop on there from time to time and play Vidya Jams. He, by the enthusiastic look on his face, has discovered that you can get scratch and sniffs. We might get Dan's Twitch working one day if we can figure out how to get him to we need like one button, like you push one button and then it all just happens, and it's just too many buttons for him right now. So we're going to keep working on training him. But yeah, is that everything? I think that's an episode.
Yeah, I think it is too. I'm going to go vomit because I'm disgusted. I have been your Bracket Master, Scott. I am slightly out of my daze, Matt. I'm even more confused. I'm Dan. With himself, mostly. With all of this. Well, bye.